Hello friends, welcome to my class. Now I am going to explain the parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Okay, there are three methods of adding up the two vectors. The first one is triangle law of addition of vectors, and second one is polygon law of addition of vector, and third one is parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Okay, now let us try to understand what is the parallelogram law and what the parallelogram law tells us, that we are going to see in detail. So we know that triangle law and polygon law, these two laws are based on the same methods of adding up the two vectors with respect to head and tail method. For example, so this is a vector and this is one more vector added with respect to head and tail. This head of the vector is added to tail of the another vector. The resultant vector comes out. In this case, no angle will be developed. Whereas parallelogram law depends on the one more possibility, that is two vectors are added together with respect to tail and tail methods. There are three possibilities of adding up two vectors: tail to tail, head to tail, and head to head. Okay, so we are going to see these two possibilities. Okay, and this second possibility is applied for the triangle law and polygon law, and this first possibility, okay, will be applied for the parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Okay, so in this case, when the two vectors are added with respect to tails, okay, then angle develops and also resultant vector will be develops. In that case, we can simply form the parallelogram. Okay, so this is parallel shift, that is A bar, and this is B bar. So parallelogram is formed. What is meant by parallelogram? Nothing but, so which is having four sides and opposite sides are equal, and these two sides will be equal and these two sides will be equal. This is about the parallelogram. Okay, now let us see in detail what the parallelogram law tells us, what is the principle of the parallelogram law, and how can we understand the parallelogram law, in which there is a diagonal which has both magnitude and direction, and that magnitude and direction expression we are going to find for the resultant vectors. Okay, here we are going to find the magnitude and direction of the resultant vector in the parallelogram law. Okay, now let us go through in detail. The first one is, what is the statement? What is the statement, or otherwise called a principle? What is the principle of the parallelogram law? Okay, that we can understand by drawing the diagram. Let us see. Let us consider this is a vector P bar and this is a vector Q bar. Okay, so when two vectors are added with respect to tails, then angle develops here and the resultant vector also develops or formed. This is angle, that is theta, and the resultant vector is formed, that is r bar vector. Then by the parallel shift of this P bar vector, this is P bar, by parallel shift of the Q bar vector, we can form the parallelogram. Okay, so in that opposite sides are equal, and this is the angle is made between the initial vector to resultant vector, and this is also angle, that is beta, made between resultant vector to final vectors. Okay, this alpha beta is depending on the length of the P bar vector and length of the Q bar vector, that we'll discuss in the next class. Now let us try to understand. This is the resultant vector which is formed from the point where the two vectors are added together. Let us consider this is O. Okay, A, B, and C. Okay, now what is the statement of the principle of the parallelogram law? Okay, So this is a p bar vector, q bar vector. Two vectors which are added with respect to tail and tail method from the point O, and whose magnitude and direction is same almost, are two vectors having both magnitude and direction, and which represented as adjacent sides of this parallelogram, and from the same point where the two vectors are added, from the same point a resultant vector is formed which is also having magnitude and direction and representing as diagonal of this parallelogram. This is the principle or statement of the parallelogram law. Now what is, okay, if two vectors which are added together with respect to tail and tail method from the point O, then having both magnitude and direction and acting as a adjacent sides of this parallelogram, and from the same point a resultant vector is formed who's having magnitude and direction and acting as a, representing as a diagonal of this parallelogram. This is known as the principle of parallelogram law or statement of the parallelogram law. Now we are going to find out, this is the resultant vector which is having a magnitude and direction. Now we are going to find the expression for the magnitude of the resultant vectors, that is magnitude of resultant vector we are going to find. Before going to find this expression, now let us assume that a normal is drawn from the point C to the OA vector or P bar vectors. This is what P bar vector, which is extended, and it is normally intersected at point D. Now everything is there on the diagram except this DC we don't know, and this is AD we don't know. Whereas OC is given, that is R bar, and OA is given, that is P bar, which is equals to parallelship, that is BC, and OB is given, that is Q bar, which is equals to AC. Everything is given. From this OD we can write it as OD is equals to OA plus AD. So this is the data can be written from the diagram. Now let us assume any one of the triangle. Now I am assuming that OCD is a triangle. Let triangle OCD write down the Pythagoras theorem in the triangle, because this is the right angle triangle. Okay, Pythagoras theorem can be applicable for the right angle triangle. So from the Pythagoras theorem, that is, okay, this is hypotenuse, this is opposite side, this is adjacent side, that is OC square equal to this one square plus this one square, OD square plus DC square. Okay, and this is OD, we can write it as OA plus AD whole square plus DC square. This we can write as A plus B whole square, that is OA square plus AD square plus 2OA into AD plus DC square, which is equals to OC square. Let us consider equation 1. Because we don't know the values of DC and AD. Okay, except that AD and DC we know everything. OC we know, OA we know. Okay, so to find this DC and AD we need to consider a triangle ACD, which is also indicates angle, because this is tail and tail. Okay, this is P bar vector, Q bar vectors. Let triangle ADC, okay, write down sin theta. So if it is angle, this is opposite side, adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse. Now sin theta means what? Opposite by hypotenuse, that is DC by Q bar. Okay, that DC is equals to what? Q bar sin theta. Write down cos theta in the same triangle adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent is what? AD is adjacent, that is Q bar is the hypotenuse. Okay, AD equal to what? Q bar cos theta. Write down these two values in the expression 1 or equation 1. Then we will get OC nothing but R bar square, OA nothing but P bar square, AD nothing but this one, Q bar cos theta. Here there is a square, so that Q bar square and cos square, plus 2 OA nothing but P bar, AD nothing but Q bar cos theta, plus DC nothing but Q bar sin theta, that is square. Okay. Now R bar square is equals to P bar square plus, and this is, from this we can write it as Q bar, let common, that is cos square theta plus sin square theta, plus 2 P bar Q bar cos theta. So this is the identity equal to 1. Then R bar or mod R bar equal to square root of P bar square plus Q bar square plus 2 P bar Q bar cos theta. So this is the formula which indicates R also, because R is the only magnitude of the resultant vector that can be denoted as mod R bar. Under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is very important formula. Based on this, we are going to solve many problems which will be appeared in the exams. Okay, this is also very important concept or question for the board exams, not only for MSET, NEET, JEE Mains. Okay, this is the expression for the magnitude of the resultant vector. Now let us find the second one is direction of resultant vector. Direction of resultant vector. So here what is tells us the direction of the resultant vectors? Always the angle of this one or this one always tells us the direction of this resultant vector. Okay, so here alpha nothing but I am taking tan alpha. Why should I take tan? Tan nothing but sine by cos. Okay, sine by cos. Sine nothing but vertical component, cos nothing but horizontal component. Whatever this resultant vector which is having both components, that is vertical component and horizontal component. That's why I am taking tan. So okay, tan alpha is equals to what? So take this is the triangle OCD. Again, this is opposite side by adjacent, because tan theta or tan always gives opposite by adjacent. That DC by OD, that we can write it as, yes, there are tan alpha equal to DC by OD. Okay, DC, then OD we can write it as OA plus AD. DC nothing but Q bar sin theta, OA nothing but P bar plus AD nothing but Q bar cos theta. And this alpha we can write it as tan inverse of Q bar sin theta by P bar plus Q bar cos theta. So this is the expressions which represents or tells us the direction of this resultant vector, and this is the expression which represents or tells us the magnitude of the resultant vectors. These two expressions are formulas which are very important to solve the many problems. And not only for the problems, this concept is very much important for the board exams. Okay, so this is about the parallelogram law, and why should we use this parallelogram law? Okay, so these are the expressions to use in the problem solving purpose. Not only in that case, we also use the parallelogram law in the general life activities. For example, when a crane is lifting a body, to find this body, whatever the body is lifted by the crane, that body weight can be found from using this parallelogram law. Okay, the weight of the body in the air and weight of the body in the water. So whatever the aeroplanes or helipads or rockets which are flying in the air, okay, that's resultant direction also we can find from using this parallelogram law principle or parallelogram law. So this is about the using or applications of the parallelogram law in our daily life activities. Not only in the daily life, it is also very important for the problem solving purpose. In the next class, let us see the special cases which are involved in the parallelogram law, which are also very important for the JEE mains and NEET, MCET, etc. So this is about the parallelogram law of addition of vectors. Thank you.